Hello everyone and welcome to my video overview for perks and synergies in Diablo 1 The Hell 4. Let's get into it. I'll preface this by saying that in today's video, I won't be covering every individual perk and synergy because honestly that would be a multi-long hour video. The perk and synergy system in Diablo 1 The Hell 4 is extremely deep and has a lot of detail in it. The first thing to know is that perks and synergies are heavily affected by what class you pick, what traits you take, if any, and can also be affected by game changers. So, like traits themselves, there's a lot of factors that go into what perks and synergies are available to you. The perk system in the Hell 4 is much like a talent system that you've likely seen in other games. It allows you to put into specific attributes depending on what your goals are. This allows for nearly endless customization of the 40 plus subclasses that are available in the game. If, for example, you're doing a hardcore run, you might lean towards more defensive perks to try and save your character from death. You can put into things such as Mind Over Matter that reduces your mana damage taken from Energy Shield, or you can choose to pump your armor class or resistances. Another possibility, if you're doing more of a normal run, is to just simply stack a whole bunch of damage. A very important note to add though, is that whatever perks you decide to allocate are permanent. There are no respecs allowed in the Hell 4, and this design is on purpose. This mod really is an homage to the 90s era of gaming. The choices you make are long-lasting and will have an impact on your character for the duration of its time. While the modern gamer would expect something like respecs to be in a game like this, I honestly can appreciate this kind of vision. It reminds me of how games used to be. Every run-through was a learning experience. You weren't able to easily double back and respec things, and you had to do it right. And if you didn't get it right the first time, well, you could try again. An interesting note is that certain perks are locked behind traits. If, for example, you take Fetchmeister as well as Bend the Rules, then you will unlock the Duelist perk. And while there are a handful of other trait-exclusive perks in the game, I'll leave that up for the player to find. It's also worth mentioning that the same thing can apply with traits, where certain traits will make other traits unavailable, and the same can be said for game changers. And while this may seem like a complicated system on its surface, which it is a bit, it allows for a lot of depth and ultimately customization. The color theme in the perk window indicates the perk status. If you've maxed it, it will become solid gold like this. If you're still putting points into something, it'll be blue, and if you haven't allocated anything, it'll be white. Overall, I find the perk system to be very fun and engaging. There's general perks like gain strength, gain magic, and etc. that almost every class has, but then there's also perks that are specific to whatever class you're playing. For example, on this archer, you can get Blessed Arrows, which will increase your arcane and elemental damage, or something like Deep Freeze. So whatever class you're playing will basically have a list of general perks that all classes do, and then class-specific perks, and some of these, like previously mentioned, can be modified by traits and game changers. Next, we'll take a look at the Synergies system. Synergies play off of perks. On the right side, you can see every synergy has a perk requirement. Once you've met the perk requirement, you'll be able to allocate your synergy points into it. This is another way of making the player very carefully consider what perks they do and plan ahead. If there's certain synergies you want, you have to make sure that you're hitting the perk requirements along the way. You will gain 1 synergy point to allocate for every 5 character levels that you gain, which once again makes the player very carefully consider their options as they're going. I think this is a fantastic system. While it is permanent and requires some know-how, it really makes you think and consider your character's progression. Overall, while the system can be a little bit unforgiving and maybe overwhelming to a new player, I think it is a great one. It allows for very specific targeting based on what your goals are. I hope you've enjoyed our overview of the perks and synergies systems in Diablo 1 The Hell 4, and if you'd like to give the mod a try, check the link in my video description or on my channel page to download The Hell 4 today.